little birdie told me that Reed might get paid for someone worshipping her feet.
That question, it was so YouTube, like, but I know the answer.
Reed, you get people paying you to look at and touch your feet.
To look at my feet? Oh mate, that would be a sweet gig. Just to look, well they kind of do.
Yeah,
the amount of times people like pay me just for foot pictures. So as you guys know, I work on the Babe channels, and I'm quite like open about it on social media, and most of the people that call me are people who are into feet, because when you're on the TV, you have TV rules. You can't be taking out your tits and taking out your tits and showing off your pussy. So one thing that you're allowed to show off is your feet. So I get a lot of foot callers.
Interesting.
It's only been working for that company that I've realised that I do enjoy my feet being played with and touched. I enjoy it very much in a sexual way as well. And I love my foot callers. Oh my goodness, I can talk about feet for like all the time. Love it. So yeah, I've started taking, well, actually not started, it's been a while, hasn't it? I take foot bookings where people pay me for the hour to worship my feet.
In person?
In person.
So you actually go and meet these people?
Yeah, there's a variety of different options, like in person, as well as, you know, online, so via webcam or on the TV taking the calls, and in person. Of course, in person is where I do like an hour-long foot session. Money really varies because when you say a foot worship session, that can mean so many different things. A lot of people don't find feet attractive at all.
Yeah, but as we know from The Big Lebowski, people are into feet sexually.
Man. Yeah, like, and what Quentin Tarantino fucking loves his feet.
Yeah, or Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it's such a huge fetish, and yet we still see it as like this weird, like uncommon. I think it's one of those where you either get it or you don't. It's very Marmite.
Yeah.
Because when you look at a fucking foot, there's nothing sexual really about it. It's about as sexual as a hand.
Yeah.
But I know people who are into hands and have hand fetishes. So there's nothing wrong with finding a foot sexy.
So, Reed, I have to know, what happens when you go to these foot meets?
Well, normally I message them over Instagram, social media, not just Instagram. They normally message me.
Yeah.
And you kind of scope out who you're going to meet as well. It's a bit like a blind date, really. You have to kind of feel them out and trust them. We always meet in a public place first. Again, because if they're fucking weird, then no thank you. It's like meeting somebody in a bar.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that it's like very unsafe, but it's no different to meeting a random stranger in a bar. You have no idea what they're going to be like.
And are these people meeting up with you because they can't find people that share their love for feet? Or is it more of a, like, if someone was going to hire a sex worker situation?
I think it's more... lots of people are into feet. What kind of girl would say no to a foot rub? Or, like, if their partner was, like, super into their feet, like, it's never sexual. I don't do sexual meets. I don't sit there giving them a foot job.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have to pay very handsomely for that. It's normally them worshipping my feet. Yeah. So it's like...
so they're sitting by your feet going... Reed's feet. Reed's feet.
Almost. You know, everyone's into something so different because you've got foot, which is a weird fetish, and then it goes off into subcategories of men who like feet in particular heels, men who like feet in sweaty socks, men who like sucking on toes. There's so many different things. Like men who like watching feet crush food. There are just there's a huge area of foot fetish.
Give us an example of what one of your sessions has been like.
So one of them, I used to go to the London foot parties as well, and they were great, where you could literally you get paid like 20 quid for 10 minutes of them either worshipping your feet, being trampled on, or I think like massaging your feet. I don't know what it is.
So you go there and you sit down, take off your shoes.
Yeah. So I'd sit down, and they might like me in my shoes. Some people like trainers over heels because they want like really sweaty, smelly feet. Some people want your like delicate, dainty feet to be in like, you know, to be standing up for 12 hours in a pair of heels and be tired. You know, tired feet is a fetish. It's so interesting. There was one guy that, I went to a hotel room with him, and he literally just got on his hands and knees and was like like massaging my feet, smelling my feet, licking my feet, sucking on my toes, but a lot of it was mainly hands, just like looking as well. Just again, that's the worship part. It's just looking at how beautiful this is.
And what are you doing whilst all this is happening?
Fucking loving it. Like eyes rolling into the back of my head, sitting there just like, yeah, do that, yeah. But it also depends, because I wouldn't tell someone to do it unless they wanted to. Like if it's a dom session, if they want to be dominated by a foot, I would get them on the floor, I would crush their head, but it's all communication, because some people like it hard and some people like it soft. Some people want to be talked to like a friend or a girlfriend or a lover, and others want to be like treated like shit.
And how does it feel earning money from people massaging your feet?
Oh my days. Like I must have a kink for like doing sexual favors for money. I mean, I've always been into webcamming and doing like in that industry. Although foot worship,
fair deal.
It does really range, like depending on where I am in my life, like, and where my partner is, like where we and my partner are. I either do them or I don't do them, or whether it's like too much bother for me. I mean, the prices range really. I charge like an hour, I would say like 200 to 500 quid, but it really depends. So 200 would be like just a massage. 500 quid would be like something very specific. I had one guy that asked for a foot meet. All he wanted to do again was put me in heels, so I was in heels, and he asked me to wear this very, very expensive particular type of leggings.
Interesting.
Like black
Not
leggings.
Not even tights, leggings.
Yeah, like a £60 pair I put on, and just walk around the hotel room in heels.
Wow.
And he loved the leggings, but he loved the whole shape of the leg. There's just so much out there that even I don't know exists.
How did you get into doing this? Like, what was that like moment you were like, I fancy getting paid for feet stuff? Did it come from babe channels?
I mean, I'd say probably from webcamming and babe channels. It does allow yourself to be more accepting of money for sexual favours, because like the concept of it is mad when you think about it.
But going from webcamming to like real life meeting people is quite a big thing, right?
I suppose so. In my opinion, I saw it as no different as going on a date. Yeah. And then the bloke paying for a date, and then maybe you have sex with him, pity fuck him. Maybe you just go back to his and he gives you a foot massage. Except at least I'm going there with an intent. It's a service. We have an agreement. And
lastly, do you have any tips for anyone that would want to get into it?
I think it does help having a bit of a social media following, because you get more exposure. Most people come to me because they want me and the feet, rather than like they can't find anyone to do a foot massage meet with. Because there are plenty of people that online that do want to do it. I think if you've got like a foot fetish yourself, you should just be open with it. If it's a fetish and you almost cannot come without it, then that's when you've got to be open and honest. Unless it's becoming a problem, then definitely speak to someone. I mean, I started doing like all these meets while I was at webcamming, because the site that I used had a service where you could give feedback on the people that you met up with, which I thought was a really good way of doing it. It's like, it's almost safe. If you want to just be paid for like foot stuff, then start posting pictures of your feet and they will come. Start tagging in foot groups and foot Twitter accounts, and you know, don't necessarily say I do foot meets, but you have to make yourself more available and more accessible, because otherwise how do people not know?
I mean, it is a strain of sex work, isn't it?
It definitely is. I call myself a sex worker. Yeah. Because it is sex work. I mean, as much as it isn't.
There is nothing wrong with sex work. It is a normal job, just like everything else.
Yes. You know, we're both big sex worker supporters.
We are.
I don't know what they find about my feet that's so attractive, but I'll take it. I mean, I used to hate my feet as well. Hate them.
That's the funniest thing about it.
That is the weirdest thing, because like my first boyfriend, I never took my socks off. I was horribly embarrassed of my feet. And I think you know what? It took one guy that I met at university to tell me that he had a foot fetish and that he really fancied my feet, for me to actually start liking my feet. And that was it. And then, you know, world turned around. Yeah. I hope that answers your questions, guys.
Yeah, and if anyone has any other questions about foot fetishes, foot meets, any other sex work questions, please comment them down below and we'll try and get back to you.
Yes, or what's better is DMing us on Instagram and writing curious questions, or asking asking one of those questions for our podcast, Fucks Given, as well.
Please subscribe, like this video, hit that notification bell when you subscribe.
And we are, 9,000 away from being 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, currently, depending on when this video comes out.
So close. So please share this video, share our other videos with your friends, get everyone to subscribe.
Yes.
I cannot say that word today. Subscribe.
It's like being in yourself. And we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.